Where is global instance, let is local instance. And coming to exceptions wise, okay, if you don't declare any variable, if you are trying to access variable, okay, it is so a is not defined. So here I declared a variable, I'm trying to access. Here I declared a variable with value, but I haven't assigned any value. Okay, if you are trying to access that value, okay, it will throw error undefined, a is undefined. Okay, next, I declare variable just a. Okay, I haven't assigned any value, I haven't given any data declaration, just given the variable name. So whenever I trying to access a, it will throw error, a is not defined. Here the difference between a is not defined and undefined means, here variable is declared with var but haven't assigned any value, then it will throw undefined. If variable is declared and haven't assigned any value, then it will throw, sorry, a variable is not declared but trying to access that one, then it is throwing a is not defined. And syntax wise, so in JavaScript, it has the two types of the functions. One is named function, another one is the anonymous function. Named function means the function it has the name, that is the named function. Function is the keyword and space function name and parenthesis. Here within that your business logic. Okay, here function add. This function have the name. This function have the name. Second. This function have the name. That's why this is the named function. While calling the function, just give add of, just pass the variable. This is about named function. Okay. Coming to anonymous function. In anonymous function, we don't have the any name for the function. Okay. Here, so this is the function, just a function keyword and parenthesis arguments, curly braces open, your business logic. Here, this is the function. This function don't have the any name. Okay, so we are calling it as anonymous function. But how we can call this function? To call this function, assign the entire function to any variable. Here, add one variable. The declaration is var. Okay, so here this function is assigned to add variable. Okay, while calling that, just call the variable as a function. Now this variable, it works as a function. Okay, this is the anonymous function. Next, coming to inheritance concept. Okay, in inheritance concept, so Java is the class based inheritance, but JavaScript is the prototype based inheritance. The function, okay, in inheritance concept, we used anonymous function while creating the functions and the modules and all the things. Here I created one function, anonymous function, and assigned that function to one variable. It's a sample. Here, no need to create base function with the file name. Here, I have the, for my file name is sample. Here, my function name is sample. No need to create the same name. You can create any name. Okay, this base function, it works as a constructor. Okay, all assignments will be in constructor.
Naresh,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Actually, one of my friend, he want to join session.
Yeah, okay, you can invite it.
Okay, can I share the
Yeah,
link
yeah,
for
sure.
you?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Okay, here it's a function. It's a base function. This base function have the it works as a constructor. Okay, in that all assignments will be in constructor. Okay, while assigning the values, okay, use this. Okay, don't assign any declarations over here. Okay, where. So if you declare the where, the scope of the where is within the constructor only. You can, okay, we cannot able to access these variables outside the function. Okay, here this means current instance. AA is the my variable. I assign some value. Okay, this is the constructor. Okay, if we create any function within the if we declare any function within the constructor, it's not supports. Okay, that's why we need to create function outside the base function, and we need to provide relationship between this function and base function. How how can we provide relationship? Okay, using prototype we can provide it. Okay, sample is the base function dot prototype dot add. Okay, the rest of everything is same. Okay, once you create a .js file, you have to create module and you have to export it. Here the syntax is create module dot export. This is the syntax to create module and export. Here I am giving some name, any name your wish. This is the module name, and for this module I'm assigning the base function. This is my base function. Here this is the anonymous function, right? This anonymous function is assigned to one variable. I'm assigning sample to sam module. Okay, this function, okay, this add function is added to sample base function. Now what all the this construct sample constructor and add function all are accessible through sam module. Okay, coming to file. Okay, here I want to use add method from the sample.js file. Now I want to import it. In Java we have the import concept and extends concepts. Okay, so here I required in JavaScript to import the any file. Okay, we have the function require is the function. So here this require function, it accepts path of the particular file. Here require of your path of the file. After that we need to create object. That's why new of sam is the my module. I need to create object for sam module. That's why this is the syntax. Okay. So after that, while accessing data, S is my object of the sample.js file and s.aa. This aa is the variable. Okay. So if you want to call the function s.add to comment, that's it. Coming to the reading the data. So in JavaScript, we are using JSON format. JSON means JavaScript Object Notation. JavaScript is easily identified by the JSON format. So JSON format is easily identified by the JavaScript. Okay, in JSON format, it's a like an object, curly braces start and ends. This is the format of the JSON. Here each and everything is a key and value. P is the key, 1 is the value, Q is the key, 2 is the value. Here you can assign any type of the data. It might be number, it might be string, it might be array, it might be object, anything. You can create any type of the data over here. But everything is JSON format. You have to follow the some syntax. Here, while reading the data of the file, here where just a declaration. Data is my user-defined variable. Require of JSON file. That's it. No need to create any file object. No need to create buffer reader object. Anything. Nothing. Okay. Just declare it while accessing the data. Data.p. Here, what is p? P is the key in JSON data. So while executing, just a control B. That's it. Here, this JavaScript is completely object oriented. To initially I explained, to run the JavaScript, we need one JavaScript engine. Okay, here to if you are running in browser, the browser is the browser have the JavaScript engine. Okay, to run the JavaScript in browser, we need DOM document object model. Now here it is the completely object oriented JavaScript. Okay, here this JavaScript doesn't depend on the DOM. Okay, completely Node.js. So here in build system we added, right? So Node.js. Node.js is the JavaScript runtime environment. It has it have implemented uh, Chrome in JavaScript engine. Okay, this is about uh, JavaScript ECMA 5 standards. Okay, this is we discussed yesterday. So coming to ECMA 6. So previously, long back we used ECMA 5 standards while writing the code. After that, we migrated to ECMA 6. Okay, why ECMA 6? So in if you see here, you have to create one function. After that, you have to use a proto. You have to add the function anonymous function to base function with a prototype. Okay, it's a people are new to JavaScript. It's little bit clumsy. Okay, all are familiar with the class based, right? That's why we migrated to ECMA 6 standards. In ECMA 6, everything is a just a class. Okay, we'll discuss. In ECMA 6, okay, it has the class keyword, constructor keyword. So syntax wise, very familiar to the Java. It's very familiar is equal to the Java. Okay. Here the syntax is class. Class yours name. Sample example. So this is the syntax of the class in JavaScript. So while writing the classes, okay, follow the coding standards. Okay, JavaScript follow the camel case. Okay, camel case syntax. Okay, camel case means the first letter is small, followed by if any word are following the same word, okay, use the capital. But while creating the classes, use capital name, capital key string first. First character is capital. Okay, here this is the class. This is the class syntax. Okay, and here constructor. We have the constructor. Constructor. This is the function. One constructor. Assign here also. Don't assign, declare any variable with var. Use this dot name equal to name. That's it. This is an assignment. Okay. If you want to create any function, okay, add the function over here. Comma B. If you want to return that's it. So we'll see. This is the sample file, right? This is the previous example with ECMA 5 standards. Coming to ECMA 6 standards. See the comparison. So same. Here sample anonymous function assigned to sample variable. After that, using prototype, we use that one. So coming to class wise, okay, class sample. If you want to same name, I'm creating same. Same example. Same example, okay, with the ECMA 6 standard. So in ECMA file, we created an anonymous function, assigned some values. After that, I created function and added to prototype. But here, okay, it's a constructor. This is the class. Sample is the class name. This is the constructor. Okay, in that we assign some values. After that, within the class only, we are creating all functions. Okay, within the class. Okay, but in ECMA 5, there is no class of concept of the class. This function itself, it is treated as a function. Within the function, we cannot create functions. Okay, that's why, okay, we kept only assigning values in the base function. It works as a constructor. All the functions outside of the function. So, but here it has the class concept. Okay, class and constructor we have. In constructor, we are assigning only assignments. And if you have any functions, just create over here. Multiply. If you have any functions, you can create like this. Okay, it's easy to understand, easy to write. Okay, whoever coming from the Java and any other programming language, it's very easy. It's similar to the other programming languages. Okay, so coming to here, in JavaScript, everything is a module, right? So you have to create again module. So follow the same thing. How to create? This is the same thing, right? Okay, you can create it. Here, module. Again, module.exports. Here, no need to give any name. Module.exports equal to, okay. Here, you have to assign entire class to this module. Okay, you can directly create object here only. Here, you can create object directly here and you can export it. Here, directly I am creating object. New, my class is sample. Just that's it. Okay, clear? Any questions up to here? This is the syntax of the ECMA 6. Class name. In that constructor, within the constructor, it has the assigning some values. After that, add one function, multiply one function. So after the class, okay, I'm creating one module.export equal to new sample. New is the keyword to create object in any language. So sample is my class name. I'm creating object. Okay, while accessing the data. So previously to access the data, we used require. So same thing, no need, but no need to create object here. So why? We already created object for the module and exposed. You can directly require it. Where s equal to, how to import? Require, using require we can import. Require dot slash. So it is in the same file, same directory, right? That's why dot. Dot means current instance slash sample.js. Okay, this is requiring of the data. While accessing the data, just I'm printing data in console. console.log of s dot, what is the name of the variable? AA. Just AA. That's it. I got the data. So it's very clear, right? Compared to ECMA 5, ECMA 6 is the very clear and understandable. Okay. So in our protractor scripts, we use ECMA 6. Okay, it's easy to understand and it's relevant to the OOPS concepts, completely OOPS concepts. So in ECMA 7, okay, TypeScript also similar to like this only. If you are familiar with ECMA 6, ECMA 7 is very easy, but we have to follow the some standards, some syntax like. So in ECMA 5, it will accept data types. Okay, string A, string B, like Java. Okay, any questions up to here?
Naresh,
Yeah,
like ECMA 5, 6, like which version we need to follow, which
six,
standards we
six,
need to
six,
follow
six only.
majorly.
Yeah, six. Follow the
Latest.
yes.
Okay.
Follow the six.
Like for example, if you take in Java, like OOPS concepts, uh, inheritance, polymorphism, collection. Similarly, how much we need to learn here, like how much JavaScript we need to learn here to get
Here,
familiar with the protractor.
so whatever we are discussing here, right? So up to here is enough. Here, so there is no concepts of the data structure. Okay, everything is object. We discussed right that JSON object. So this is the object. So, so in in Java also we have the collections. In collections, sets and maps, right? Almost those two are the major set and map. Map key and value. In set also, it's a unique data. Okay, same thing. Okay, no need of that much of complexity. There is no linked list concepts here. Not required that much. Just a basic. In testing perspective, just we call the creating the function or method and access that method in your actual test cases. Okay, here all functions are implemented in library. In for us, a library is nothing but a page objects and the page wise actions, all that. Okay, everything is simple. Up to here, clear, right? Any questions up to here?
Yeah. And how about JSON here? Why we use this JSON here? Like, here are we maintaining the data in JSON files or how it will be?
Yeah, data, everything will be JSON format only. Okay, if
Okay.
any data coming from the CSV file, okay, so we came from Java, right? In Java, we used CSV files and Excel files to store the test data. Okay, okay. Here you can create test data in JSON format. Okay, if any data coming from the client side, okay, client wise. So if client send test data in CSV file, okay, so if we send hundreds of the test data records in the on the CSV file, we cannot create manually JSON file, right? In that case, you can access directly CSV file, or else to access easily, convert the convert CSV file to JSON file and dynamically through code wise, and you can access it. Okay, we can access it. Any questions? If you are clear, we'll go for the Jasmine. We'll go for Jasmine. Clear? Jasmine. This is the official site of the Jasmine. Jasmine is a JavaScript unit testing framework. It's a behavior-driven testing framework. Generally, we know only Cucumber is the BDD, behavior-driven development framework. Okay, Jasmine also BDD. Okay, but in Jasmine, the difference between Jasmine and Cucumber is in Jasmine everything is a function. Here function based BDD flavor, but in Cucumber it's a text based framework. Okay, we'll see a Cucumber later. In Jasmine, so coming to Selenium wise, in Selenium we used JUnit and TestNG. We used JUnit and TestNG. Nowadays people are using TestNG. In why we need to use, what is the use of TestNG in Selenium? So this TestNG has the unit testing framework. It provides some annotations, some listeners. It provides some annotations and listeners. So like using the TestNG annotations, we can organize our test cases. Okay, in if you are using only Selenium and the Java, we can create test cases in a linear way only. So like a executable code. Okay, but we cannot organize the test case. Okay, if you want to organize test cases, you have to use any one of the testing framework, JUnit or TestNG. Others, you have to create your custom testing framework. Okay, here in TestNG, we have the different annotations at the rate test, at the rate before class, okay, at the rate after class, before suit, after suit, like, okay, at the rate before method, after method, like that we have the different annotations is there in TestNG. What is the use of the at the rate test? At the rate test, if you mention at the rate test annotation before any of the method name, that method it is treated as a one test case. And before class it's a annotation. So whatever method is mapped with the before class, okay, that method it will execute one time before executing your entire class. And same like that after class, this after class is annotated method. Okay, it executes one time after execution of your entire class. Like that before method, this before method it will execute one time before executing your test. And after method it execute one time after executing your test. If you have the n number of tests, okay, before method and after method executes n number of times. Okay, and after that we have the assertions. Okay, two equal to content. Okay, like that we have the different annotations and different assertions, different listeners is available in the text engine. Using these annotations, assertions, and listeners, we can organize our test cases in Java. Say, okay, coming to JavaScript. Okay, here we have the Jasmine, okay, Karma, and Mocha, Chai. These these four are the different JavaScript testing frameworks. Okay, each framework have their own functions like annotation functions. Okay, expectations. We have different here. Using that, we can organize the test cases. Okay, here these four unit testing frameworks are similar to the JUnit and TestNG. Now we are discussing Jasmine. Okay, in Jasmine we have the different methods. So in JavaScript, so everything is a function. Here, if we see the syntax, we have the describe, some name, function, var declaration, it. This is the basic syntax of the Jasmine. Okay, so here we'll create on sample file. new file, it has in Jasmine also everything is JavaScript. Extension is JS. Okay, here this is the Jasmine. So here Jasmine, right? So in Jasmine we have the global functions. Okay, here Jasmine is the framework, right? In TestNG, they have implemented some annotations at the rate test, at the rate before class, before after class, before method, after method. Coming to Jasmine, okay, they have implemented some global functions. So here there is no concept of classes. In JavaScript, everything is a functions. Okay, here describe. Describe is the one global function. Okay, Jasmine framework exposed one function as a describe. This is the one function. Okay, so this is the describe. What is describe?
Naresh,
Yeah,
Naresh, for Jasmine, we need to install anything for
no,
setup
no.
and all?
So whenever you install
Not required?
protractor, no. So
Uh-huh. Okay.
so here go to here node modules protractor. Okay, this protractor is one project, right? One node module. Here, every node module have their own package, package.json. Go to package.json file. See the dependencies. See Jasmine and the Jasmine WD2. These two are the Jasmine node modules. These two node modules added in protractor package.json file. Whenever you install protractor, okay, by it will install the all the dependent node modules. So whenever you install protractor, Jasmine will install. No need to install separately. Okay, clear?
Okay, one more thing. Can we use Maven here?
No,
Maven
no,
file?
no. There is no concept of Maven.
Oh, no?
Maven is for only
Oh,
Java.
no.
Okay, here describe. Describe is the global function. In Jasmine terminology, describe is nothing but a suite. This is the test suite. This is the test suite. This describe function, it accepts two arguments. Two arguments. One is the test suite description. What is your test suite? Okay, and second one is the function, that is the anonymous function. There is no name of the function. Okay, this is the syntax of the describe. Just a describe function. Here in Jasmine terminology, describe is nothing but a test suite. It accepts two arguments. One is description of the describe and comma. Second one is the function. That function is the anonymous function. Clear? Next. So this is the test suite. What is test suite? Test suite contains number of the test cases. Here, test case is nothing but a test case, right? Here in Jasmine terminology, the test case is nothing but a spec. Spec. One spec is nothing but a one test case. So it's a it. It again, it is a global function. It is a global function developed by the Jasmine team. It is a function in Jasmine framework. Again, this it accepts the two arguments. Description of test case and second one is the function. That function is the anonymous function. This is the syntax of the test case. Okay, you can if you want to test case one. If you have more test cases, you can create like this. Okay, this is the test case. Test case 1, test case 2. These two are the different test cases. If you have a number of test cases, you can create it. Okay, this is the test describe as a test suite and it is a test case. So in Jasmine terminology, it's a spec. It is nothing but a one spec. So here your business logic. Here your business logic. Okay. So in Jasmine, it executes okay sequential manner. Okay, it executes top to bottom. First it executes the first hit, after that it executes second hit. Okay. Okay, there is no concept of the priority. In TestNG we have the priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, like that we can give. But in Jasmine we don't have the priority. You can just give them whatever you given. Okay, all test cases will execute sequential manner only. Okay, these two are the test cases. So whatever your business data, business logic, you can implement over here. Okay, here one more thing. We have the one more global function, expect. Expect expect is the one global function. What is expect? In testng and the JUnit we have the assertions, right? Assert dot equal assert dot to content, like that we have the assertions. What is the use of assertions? To validate any data, to validate any verification. Okay, assertion means verifications. To validate that, we use assertions. Here, this expect is nothing but a assertions. It's equivalent to the assertions. So in Jasmine terminology, we are calling it as expectations. Okay, this is the expect. Okay, it accepts only one argument, that is the actual data. That is the here it is the actual data. Actual data. In expect method, it followed by some matches. Okay, this Jasmine supports different matches. Okay, two equal. Okay, two contain, two less than, two greater than. It supports different matches. Go to official site. So it has different matches. So two equal is one match. Okay, so here dot to two equal, two
So
equal.
these matches are like assertions or what?
Assertions only.
Okay.
Okay, in two equal, so give the expected data. Okay, this is the assertions. Okay, here expect. In expect, we'll pass the data which are coming from the application. This is the actual data of the application. Dot two equal. This is two equal means it is verifying the exact equal. Okay, and here our expected data. It is coming from the our test data file. Okay, so for example, from application I am getting expect. From application I am getting false. Okay, dot to equal of, but I'm expecting for true. This is one verification. And expect from expectation, from application I'm getting welcome to. This is my text from application. Here I have the one more assertion to contain. Here I am expecting India. So like this we'll create a expectation, verifications, assertions. Okay, one more thing. If this assertion, line number 80, if 8 fail, okay, it doesn't stop the execution. It will go for the next statement. If any business logics wise, in code wise, any exception occur, it skips the following steps and it will go to the next state. It will not stop the execution. Okay, this is the example of the expectations. Okay, this is Jasmine structure. How we can run it?
Uh,
Yeah.
Naresh, sorry to interrupt you. What if I want in Java like system.out.println? Similarly here, can we log that logging messages? Can we
So
do this
yeah,
here?
one second, one second. So what is this one? Console.log. Using
Got it.
console.log, we can print it. Okay. If you want to log it, so in Java also, if you want to log the data in the any log file, we use loggers, right? Log4j. Here also we can implement it. We can see in later. Okay. So to run the Jasmine, okay, we need some other configuration file. So previously we copied some configuration file, right? So in that configuration file, it has some settings. So here I'm giving that configuration file. We have the spec option. We'll discuss why what is the configuration file, why we need to specs. Okay. So for time being, to execute the Jasmine file, we need one configuration file. So here the file name is Jasmine example. Just give the file name in specs. Okay. Just I given the specs in the I configured Jasmine example. So previously we did write Jasmine example. This is completely purely JavaScript. That's why we run through build control B. It will execute. But here, so Jasmine, this is a completely other framework. Jasmine. Okay. The IDE is not recognized. The IDE don't know the Jasmine framework. That's why if you run control B, it will throw some exception. Okay, describe is not defined. It's not defined. It doesn't know. Okay, Node.js don't know the Jasmine. It's a framework. Our customized framework. Our means any third party. Okay, so to run this thing, okay, we need one environment. That is the Node.js environment. To run this, we configure in configuration file. Okay, so as like previously we ran sample protracted file, right? Go to command prompt, run the configuration file, protractor conf.js. It will open the browser even we are not accessing the browser also. So in protractor internally they have configured. So see here. First, see how many test cases you have. We have two test cases. One two it's okay. It is nothing but one test case. In Jasmine terminology, it is the test case is one spec. Okay, if you go to console, two specs, one failure. Here two specs means two hits, one failure. See one thing. First expectation. Here we got from application we got false, but I am expecting true. Expected false to equal true. It's a fail. This is a assertion fail. Coming to second one, expect two contains is not a function. Okay, so it is showing there is no two contains function. It's a syntax issue. We have only two contains.
So, so what is a, how did you compile it? How did you execute this script?
The command prompt only, right? Protractor space conf.js.
Oh,
In configuration file, I have configured. In conf.js file, inspect attribute, I given the example dot Jasmine example.js. This is my Jasmine file. Okay, let me execute. So here two specs, one failure. Okay, if any test case fail, it will give the in red color F. If test case any test case pass, it give green color dot. Okay, and it will give the test suite description. It will give the data like test suite name and test case name. Our test suite name is test suite description. After that, test case one. Test suite name. After that, test case name. Here, expected false to equal true. I'm expecting true, but I got false. That's why it's failed. Okay. Here, it will give two specs and one failure. Finished in 0.03 seconds. Okay. Here, like that, we'll create the verifications. This is the verifications coming to here. So in testng we have the before class, before after class, before method, after method. Like that, here also we have the different global functions. Before before all. This is the one function. Okay. Function. This is the syntax. Before all. Before all is syntax. If you want to reference, go to here and search with before all. This is the before all. Before all, this is the syntax. It will run one time before executing your describe. So before all. So here I am printing. I will give the console. Console.log of. Okay. Before all. So here also I will comment it out to this one expectations for now time being. Console.log of test case 1. For test case 2, okay, test case 2. Here I have the two test cases. Before all method. Let me execute. See, before all executed one time, test case 1 is executed. After that, 2 is executed. So like that, before all method, this function, it executes one time for before executing one time for describe level. Okay, next, same like that, after all, it executes one time after executing all its one time for describe. Okay, function. after all. See, before all executed, test case 1 executed, test case 2, after that after all. So these two are like before class and after class. Okay, if you want to any data for each and every case, if you want to run any set of data to execute before each and every test case, okay, you can use before each and after each. Before each, as like before function. So if you want it after, see here. Say before that, it will execute one time. Executes one time before executing all specs. Execute one time after executing all specs. Here executing one time before executing each spec. Okay, after. So it's like before each equal to before method, after each equal to after method. So before all, after all equal to before class and after class. That means, see, before all executed one time. After that, before each executed. Again, test case 1 executed. After each. Again, before each. Test case 2. After each. After all. These are the organizing the test cases. But here, there is no concept of the priority. Okay, if you want skip, okay, you can skip it. Okay, if you want to skip any test case, okay, just give exit. Before it, put X. Okay, it skips the particular spec. See, I mentioned exit for first test case, temporarily disabled with exit. Two specs is there, 0 failures, 1 pending spec. If you see here, only single green dot, 1 star, that is skipped. Okay, for example, okay, I have the number of the test cases. Okay, I want to execute only one. Okay, here I want to execute only first it. Okay, to skip the all the test cases, I need to comment it, or else I need to put exit for all. Okay, if you have more number of test cases, we cannot put the exits, right? If you want to run only particular it, just to put F it for whatever you want it. It executes only particular it. See, ran 1 of 5. Only one spec executed, 0 failures. Only one. It doesn't give the information about the rest of thing. If you put exit, it will show temporarily disabled. Okay. If you put exit, X for 1 hit, F for 1 hit, remaining are hits. Okay. It will execute only if it. Okay. The flow of the execution flow is first it read all hits. After that, looks for F it. If any F it present, run only F it. Okay, if you don't have F its, it will load all its. After that, it just skips exit. This is the flow of the execution. Okay, you can put exit F it for describe level also. Okay, you can put in describe level. For example, here I have the on describe, right? I will keep it exit. Let me execute. So run 0 of 5 specs. Why? We mentioned X describe. X describe means skip the entire describe. Okay, that is one thing. And one more thing is, yeah, in expected conditions, okay, this is the positive verification. This is the positive verification to content. If you are verifying negative scenario, like I got the one data from application. Okay, this India should not be there in the text. In that case, just put not to dot to content. That's it. It's a negative verification. Expected welcome to India, not to contain India. But this text I have the India. That's why it failed. Okay. This is about Jasmine. Like that in Jasmine we have the different annotations. Like to equal to content to be less than. Yes. Custom matches. This is to be like uh, to be means it's a equal. So if it is Boolean validation, use to be. So if you are verifying negative scenario, dot not to be and to equal. Okay, to match, not to match, to be defined. If you are verifying for the object wise, so to be defined, to be undefined, to be null. Okay, not to be null. If it is null value, to be null. Like that, if it is every time it's a falsy, to be falsy. If it is true, to be truthy. Okay, like that we have the different as matches is there in Jasmine. You can explore it. So the concept of the Jasmine is just organizing the test case. Here we have the global functions. One is describe is the one global function. It accepts two arguments. First one is the describe of the test suite and anonymous function. And next one is before all function. Okay. So next one is it. It is nothing but a one spec. Okay. In one spec, it access two arguments. One is description of the it. Second one is the anonymous function. Okay. In it, you can your all business logic will be it. Okay, all code in Jasmine, okay, everything will be it only. Outside it, don't create any data. all verifications will be in it block only. Okay, if you have any declarations and require anything, you can require before the describe. If you have any assertions, you can assign in describe level. Okay, while creating test cases, we can see. And coming to here, assertions wise, before all, this is a global function. It execute one time before executing your describe. Okay, this before alpha describe level, after alpha describe level only. After all, it executes one time after executing your describe. Means all test cases done, after all will execute. Before each this function, it will execute before executing your each it block, each spec, each test case. And after each, it executes one time after executing your it block or test case or spec. Coming to expectations wise, here expect is a global function. It accepts one argument, that is the actual data, and followed by the matcher. Okay, all matches are my to equal, to be, to contain, okay, to be less than, to be greater than, to be defined, okay, to be truthy, to be false. Like that, we have number of matches is there. If you want to verify negatively, just put not before the matcher. Not dot to contain, not dot to equal, not dot to be truthy, to be false, like that. Here, so this matcher sends the data for expected data. Okay, this is about Jasmine. Like this, we'll create the test cases. Okay, any questions here? To run the Jasmine, we need some configuration file. In configuration file, we'll add that one, that particular Jasmine file, spec file. Okay, any questions? Any questions? If you are clear, we'll connect tomorrow. Jasmine, more than one Jasmine file means I didn't get it. Here, this is Jasmine example. This is simple file. All test cases .js files only. Jasmine.js means I didn't get. One file is one test plan. If we compare to Java, we'll create on different class files, right? In Java, we have the different class files. Like that, this .js file is the one. Yes. Yeah. Okay. This is JavaScript file only. Just if it is Jasmine example, that's why I given. If it is, for example, login login.js file. If it is registration.js file. More than you can create number of test cases. So each test scenario, one flow, tester flow is one Jasmine, one spec file. So we are calling it as a spec file. Spec file means specification. Okay, so as for coding standards, we'll follow login.spec.js file. So this here, This spec is not a extension. It's a only name, just a name. Here in spec for config file, here my class name is spec name is login.spec.js. Here give login.spec.js file. If you have more number of, just give comma give. You can mention over here like this. Just give a comma and give like this. Okay. We'll connect tomorrow. Okay, bye.